they've gone half the ice in less than 2 seconds, and they're right down, closing in as they do so well on, in this case, the Chicago net. And that's, I believe, Napier hitting the roof.
Okay, they love to spread it out, don't they? They love to use the whole ice.
They feel that that's to their advantage. They've got so much speed that if they spread it out and use the 85 feet, that it's to their advantage.
Good example right here, the puck coming along the boards. Again, they do it down that right side and throw it down the left side.
The full width of the ice, and then there allows them to turn it up and find the guy in prime scoring position right down through the slot.
High-powered offense here, and the key are the breakouts. You really have to concentrate and slow them down. How can you do that?
Well, before you know it, if you don't forecheck them well, the Flyers are a good forechecking team, but if you don't forecheck them really well, what you find is they're on top of our defense in a 3-on-2 situation. So the key to our defense starts way down behind their net in our forechecking.
Okay, so we've noticed that they can generate a lot of offense, start the breakout from behind their own net. We're going to take a look at a countering situation right here where they maintain control or get control of the puck from the Chicago offense.
A breakout implies that you break out from your own zone, but as you'll see here, they break the puck up at every opportunity when the opposition happens to turn the puck over. And there you see Wayne Gretzky taking full advantage of it with that shot he has.
Take a look at Wayne Gretzky here taking a face-off now, and it's important, and it's something that your centermen do real well, and that's to tie up the face-off man. Clearly, Chicago had a tough time doing it here.
The face-off is the only time in the sport of hockey where everyone has a position and has someone to pick up in a standstill, and you'll see this here. This is actually the game winner, as you pointed out, Ken, against the New Jersey Devils earlier in the year. Gretzky goes to the boards and finds his favorite target right there, Yari Curry.
Beautiful goal, and that was the game winner with 6 seconds to go. We talk about the Edmonton Oilers and their high-powered offense they have. It's a little bit surprising, I think, to a lot of people that their power play is not as potent and as strong as a 5-on-5 situation. They're clearly a better 5-on-5 team.
Well, a 5-on-5, maybe the other team has a tendency to relax, but it seems that the Edmonton philosophy on the power play is to let the individuals take the game as they see fit, to flow with the game, whereas you'll see a lot of other teams with some very patterned plays on power play. The Edmonton Oilers, as they do all over the ice, are freewheeling on their power play, they're freewheeling on their penalty kill. And you can't knock success, it's effective.
We'll take a look at a Chicago opportunity here, killing off the penalty against the Edmonton Oilers, using some good high pressure. Actually, that check right there hurt Keith Brown, and this now becomes a 5-on-3 situation.
The 5-on-3, you'll see there's some trouble on the boards, but they pick it up. Again, the individuals skating all over, with no pattern, rhyme, or reason, no positioning.
That can really confuse a penalty-killing situation, a good penalty-killing team, Ken.
It's just so tough to defend against, Ken. 1 minute you're on a person that you think is going to stay on the one part of the boards, and then the next moment he's over at the other point, and there's somebody else taking his place. And it makes them so dangerous, but yet it's affected their penalty power play effectiveness.
We have an incident coming up here where they actually score a goal on the power play, and you would think it would be Gretzky and Curry and those guys. It's not. It's Mark Messier that'll get the goal here off a Charlie Huddy rebound. Again, the key. Everything is very well spread out, and I guess Chicago's actually playing this rather well. They've got a good box going there.
Well, Edmonton has spread out in this situation. They tend to chase a little bit there, and it comes back, and you'll see Anderson get the puck. And eventually the goal right there with Napier parked right on the doorstep.
So there it is, a breakdown of the Edmonton Oilers, some of their breakouts, some of their patterns. Whatever the case may be, perhaps the Flyers will be able to shut them down as they have done against Quebec and the Island and go on in the Stanley Cup final and eliminate the Edmonton Oilers. Along with E.J. McGuire, I'm Ken Adelberger for Prism Sports.
Well, those offensive-minded Oilers under control through 2-1-0 Flyers. Highlights and analysis coming up. Phillies at the vet tonight taking on San Francisco, delayed an hour and 6 minutes because of rain. They have resumed action. They're in the third inning now. San Francisco leading the Phils by a score of 3-0. And that is it for this latest edition of Prism Sports. I'm Mark Zumoff. We'll be with you again, be it before overtime or after the game. Right now, after 2 here on Prism, 1-0 Flyers. Looking back now at that second period, here's Ed Van Impe and the Chief, Bobby Taylor.
Thank you, Mark. Eddie, I have to agree with you. You know, when you have all those chances, you got to start cashing in on them because usually it happens the other team starts getting their chances.
Well, usually comes back to haunt you, and I hope this is not the case here tonight, as the Flyers are playing, a good game, and they're ahead 1-0. They've had a lot of good opportunities when they're at even strength or with the help of the power play. They've had 7 power play opportunities, but you'd like to see a couple more tallies up on that board right now, because going into the third period, I don't think I'd want to play any other team in the league. I think what I should say is I'd play any other team in the league except Edmonton when I'm only up by 1.
Or even down by 1. But one thing I think that you have to take a look at is all the chances. Peter Zezel had an excellent opportunity in that second period.
Well, the Flyers, we talked about, are working hard, and as a result, when you work hard, you're going to get your opportunities. The Flyers were able to maintain possession along the boards, just come into the off the angle, and Zezel just cranks up that big shot. But it just seems that Grant Fuhr, the goaltender for Edmonton, is here, there, and he's everywhere as he made that save. Zezel had plenty of time off to the top of the circle, just put the head down and just lowered the boom. But again, Grant Fuhr making that big save, and the rebound was there, but the Oilers were back to help the goaltender.
Flyers also not only had the good opportunities from the side, or from the angles rather, and from the slot, but they've had 3 breakaway attempts as well, and Grant Fuhr's been strong in all 3 of them, and one of them it looked like Flyers were going to score, and that was when Murray Craven broke in all alone.
The Flyers, they've had their opportunities we've talked about. Craven just breaks in one-on-one with the goaltender. He makes the play. He has him beaten, but he can't quite get the puck into the net. He made the move to the forehand, and Fuhr had that stick out there and was able to just hold the Flyer at bay. But it was a foot race for a while. The defenseman slid, and Craven stumbled a little bit, but then he made the move to the backhand, pulls it around. It looks like he's got him beaten, but Fuhr gets that stick back there to be able to make the play on Murray Craven.
I tell you, when things are going right for you, you're really on a roll, and Fuhr is exactly on a roll, and he's not really guessing out there. He's been making the play. That one might have been a little bit on the desperation side, but most of the time he's on top of that puck, and his concentration is extremely good tonight.
Bob, you talk about a goaltender being on a roll. I think once you get on a roll, your confidence builds, and you feel that they can't beat you, whereas when things aren't going good for you, you think that, gee whiz, I hope I can stop it. Yeah. But when things are going the other way, they say they can't beat me, and everything else, and your confidence builds, and sometimes it can carry you a long way.
The ice has really led to an awful lot of opportunities for both teams, and especially for Philadelphia, because they've had the most opportunities. But the one that sticks out in my mind is when the Flyers had that 3-on-1 situation with Tim Kerr leading the way.
Well, Timmy Kerr, he's scored 54 goals this season already during the regular season, 8 more in the playoffs, and he's carrying the puck. He's on the forehand. He's coming here, and he's going to take the big shot. He takes that shot, but again, the goaltender was better than the Flyer forward. 2 Flyer forwards were going towards that net, but he's able to cover up that loose puck. But it was a 3-on-1 breaking out of the zone. A head pass to Kerr's going around the outside. Now Carson's going for the net. The backcheckers are trying to get back into the play, but Kerr makes that 2-on-1 shot. And the Fuhr made the save, and he kept the rebound out in front of him, was able to make that save.
Right after that, that's when Randy Gregg picked up a holding penalty, and the Flyers had another power play opportunity. Eddie, this is a club that has really been able to protect a lead in that third period. I know we keep talking about you can't sit back and let the team to come to you, because the best way to keep a team down is to keep penning them in their own zone.
Well, I think if you're aggressive in your forechecking and play that third period inside the Edmonton zone, you've got the game made, but you certainly don't want to lay back against a club that can score as many goals as Edmonton already has. And you got to play your regular game. It's got you this far, and I'm sure that's exactly what the coaching staff for the Flyers are saying right now.
Well, 1-0 after 2. Let's go upstairs now to Gene Hart for the start of the third.